Today's session, I think I'm audible. Is the screen clear? So let's start with the session. Meanwhile, everyone will join. So before starting the topic of today's, that is conceptual anatomy topic, is the histology of lymphoid tissue. So actually, I would like to cover up histology of lymphoid tissue today, but I think I would be able to cover spleen and lymph node. Firstly, I will give you the general brief about what is lymphoid structure. So before starting that, we should have an introduction of the platform, and then we can start the session. So yeah, today's session is lymphoid tissue, lymph node, and the spleen. Myself, Dr. Mona Lisa. The unlock code for the Unacademy platform, and those who wish to be the part of free sessions on the Unacademy, those who want to avail the opportunity to be the part of free sessions, they can use the code ANAT10 for unlocking free sessions on the Unacademy platform. Yeah. Now, so YouTube session 7:30 p.m. is the timing in which I am taking Let's Crack NEET PG 2021. For FMG session 9 p.m. is the timing, and it is Let's Crack FMG 2021. For those who are first year MBBS students, and for them particularly, I have designed this. Sivank, yes, welcome to the session. Good evening, Sivank. Yeah, 6 p.m. is the timing, and this is conceptual anatomy. Today is the lymphoid tissue histology. We will start with the spleen and lymph node. Yeah, good evening, Shani. Now let's crack NEET PG session. Today is I think this is today's session is 19. So today is 6th session. So today I'm taking 6 sessions, 7:30 p.m. The 9 p.m. session today, I'm taking the FMG special session, and also the conceptual anatomy, that is 6 p.m. Session is there. So these are the upcoming sessions. Iconic subscription, Prep Ladder, and Unacademy together merge. You can take the subscription. You can use the code. Those who wish to take the subscription, they can use the code ANAT10 for 10% discount. Okay, ANAT10 for 10% discount. They can also take 3-month subscription, and they can get 1 month additional subscription absolutely free. These are upcoming session: MBBS Foundation course 2nd year batch, MBBS Foundation course 3rd year batch, Target Next 2022 batch. Those who want to be the part of Target Next 2022 batch, they can again use the code ANAT10 and be the part of these sessions. And revision, image-based revision sessions has been there for cracking the next that for cracking NEET PG examination INI-CT 19. Today is the session from which the session is starting. I am also coming up in the end of the month with a plus session of targeted questions, so you can be the part of that. 34,000 MCQs has been there on the Unacademy platform. Those who want to be the part of these sessions, they can use this. Download the Unacademy app. Okay, referral code ANAT10. Find the goal NEET PG, and then you can take the session, the free sessions. You can use the code ANAT10. If you want to take the plus subscription, just you can take any of the subscription. Again, you can use the code ANAT10. Now let's start with today's topic. That is, so here we will use today's topic is lymphoid tissue. Okay, so yes, now coming with the learning objective of today's session. Okay, learning objective of the class. The learning objective of today's class is we have to know general features of lymphoid tissue. Okay, general features of lymphoid tissue, classification of lymphoid tissue, lymph node histology, spleen histology, open and closed circulation. So these are the learning objective of the session, which has to be used, which has to be studied. So the goal of the session will be to know lymphoid tissue classification, lymphoid tissue general features, histology of the spleen, histology of lymph node, and open and closed circulation. Okay, so let's start with the topic of lymphoid tissue. Now, first thing, before starting the topic, I would like to give you the general brief of the topic. What do you understand by lymphoid system? So when we talk about lymphoid system, it is consists of tissues and organs which is made of lymphocytes. Okay, so what is the role of these structures? They are required for protecting. They are required for protecting the internal environment and body against the invasion of microorganisms, and they are required for specific immune response. Okay, lymphoid tissue. Whenever I am talking about lymphoid tissue, what is the importance that these tissues are together lying in the inner environment of the body, and they are required for immune response. They are required for the immune response. So various lymphoid tissues are there, which is very important for histology part. I will brief that structures. Okay, so yes, Those who want to just note down, they can note down this. I have written all the important things so that no one will have any problem. So you can just note down this important point. It is consist of tissues, organs made of lymphocytes, protecting the internal environment of the body against the invasion of microorganisms, and it is important for specific immune response in our body. It is required for specific immune response in our body. Okay, this is the features of lymphoid tissue. Now, one more point before starting the topic, I just want to give you the brief. What is the importance of immune response and what happens if there is any breach in the protective layer of the body? Okay, so immune system or immune response is activated by first two lines of defense. And if these line of defense is severed or damaged, then the lymphocytes and lymphoid structure come in action. Okay, so the first thing is, ma'am, cell mediated humoral immunity. Yeah, that is B and T cell mediated immunity. Shilpi, yeah, that is B and T. Like for example, when we are talking about thymus gland, it is only having T lymphocytes, cell mediated immunity. When we are talking about other structures, when we are talking about, absolutely right, Shilpi, you are absolutely right. When we are talking about spleen, lymph node and all, they are specifically required for B cell lymphocytes mainly. Okay, consists a mixture of it, but B lymphoid cells. Now, first, let me start. That is, I want to start from the basics. So the first thing is that the first line of defense is provided by the epithelium. So our body is having a epithelial covering. Everyone knows that our body is having a epithelial covering. Everyone is knowing. So the first line of defense is provided by surface epithelium, and this surface epithelium is consist of epidermis of the skin, and this is covering the entire body surface, and mucous membrane that is lining the hollow viscera. Okay, we have already covered the histology of epithelium class in the previous sessions, and we know that epithelium is lining internal structure. So everywhere there is epithelium lining. There is epithelial lining in the GI tract, in the respiratory tract. On the outer surface of the skin, epidermis layer is also having epithelial line. So the first line of defense, which is preventing the entry of microorganisms in our body, हमारे बॉडी के अंदर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म इंटर नहीं कर पाता है. व्हाट इज द रीजन? दैट फर्स्ट लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस इज बाय द लाइनिंग एपिथेलियम. नाउ कमिंग टू द सेकंड लाइन, the second line of defense come into action when there is breach. Yes, absolutely right, Sivan. When there is breach in the epithelium surface of injury. For example, if any kind of injury happens in the skin or outer aspect, there is abrasion, injury or burn. Okay, so that means a breach has, means एक break हो गया हमारे first line defense mechanism में. Okay, ये एक रूट बन गया हमारे आउटर इन्वायरमेंट को ऑर्गेनिज्म को एंट्री करने के लिए. दे कैन एंटर आवर बॉडी. ओके, सो फर्स्ट लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस is by the epithelium, is by the skin. If it is breached by any kind of injury, if it is breached by any kind of injury, aberrations and burning, then there comes into play the second line of defense. Now, second line of defense is constituted by, now the point is that हमारे पास second line of defense हमारे पास किस कैटेगरी के स्ट्रक्चर से मिलती है. So second line of defense is constituted by phagocytic cells, namely macrophages, neutrophils, which is present in lamina propria and dermis. If you know, the skin is made of two layers. Outer is epidermis and the inner is dermis. कितने layers होते हैं? Outer aspect पे epidermis layer होता है, inner aspect पे dermis layer होता है. Okay. In this dermis layer, there is connective tissue. Also in the structures, in the layers of the respiratory tract, in the layers of the GI tract, there is a connective tissue layer which is called as lamina propria. This lamina propria is consist of macrophages and neutrophils. So these are performing second line of defense mechanisms. They are causing second line of defense mechanisms. Now, my dear friends, then why is there lymphoid structure? So your question must be, lymphoid structure का क्या role है? अगर skin है, neutrophils है, macrophages है, तो lymphoid structure immunity कैसे provide करता है? If there is breach in first line of defense mechanisms, is there breach in second line of defense mechanisms, then the third line of defense mechanisms come into action. Yeah, absolutely right. Specific response, okay, by antibodies. Yes, Sivan. So third line of defense is by a specific immune response. Absolutely right, Sivan. You are absolutely right. Yes. Then, if there is breach in the skin, if also the macrophages and the neutrophils also fails, then the immunity is provided by lymphoid structures, and it is evoked by lymphocytes. It is evoked by lymphocytes, both humoral and cell mediated immunity. Okay. So everyone, those who want to note down, I have written many of the facts. So today I have written it already. Sometimes I will write with you along with the sessions. Okay. So you can just copy it. If you want to write, you can just write in brief and copy it. Always keep it a notebook by the side and make notes right itself, because I will give you time. This is the session specially targeted for first year MBBS students, and I know that they want to write the things because they have to reproduce these things in the theory examination and for their Viva examination. So you can write it. If you want, you can tell me also, ma'am, please wait. Okay, you can tell me, you can write in the message, ma'am, please wait. Now, my dear friends, you can write, you can just note down this chart. This is the chart of various percentages of B cells and T lymphocytes lying in the various lymphoid organ. Okay, when we talk about bone marrow, it is consist of approximately 90% B lymphocytes and 10% T lymphocytes. When we talk about, this is a very important question of Viva and for MCQ session, that whether T lymphocyte has got B lymphocytes or not, whether the thymus structure has got B lymphocyte or not. The answer is thymus is not containing B lymphocyte. It is having 100% T lymphocyte. Thymus के पास क्या है? सिर्फ T lymphocytes है. Connective tissue, yeah. So connective, yeah, dear, connective tissue may, if we talk about, yes, Silpi, if we talk about second line of defense is by macrophages and neutrophils. So that is located in lamina propria, and lamina propria layer is lying in the connective tissue. Okay. So that is second line of defense. Yes. Lymph node, yes, dear. Okay, lymph node is consist of 40% B lymphocyte and 60% T lymphocyte. Spleen, this is approximate. This is giving you approximate idea of the percentage of B and T lymphocyte. Spleen is having 55% of B lymphocytes and 45% of T lymphocytes. Okay, blood is having 20% B lymphocyte and 80% T lymphocytes. So yes, this is the various amount or quantity of T and B lymphocyte in various lymphoid organs. So you can note down this. You can just note down this chart. The percentage of B and T lymphocytes in various lymphoid organs: bone marrow, thymus, lymph nodes, spleen, and blood. Written. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, absolutely right. So are you understanding, everyone? Give me a thumbs up if you are understanding. Okay. Okay, one of the student is not understanding like this. Okay, what happened? I'm going very slowly. I'm going very slowly. Okay. So classification. Now coming to the classification of lymphoid organ. My dear friends, the lymphoid organ can be classified as central and peripheral. Okay. We can classify. Important is that you should also know classification of the classification of lymphoid organ. So if you want to classify lymphoid organ, we have to go with functional classification, and functional classification can be categorized as central and peripheral. Central lymphoid organs are thymus and bone marrow, and peripheral is lymph node, spleen, malt, and gall. Peripheral is lymph node, spleen, malt, and gall. Okay, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue and gut associated lymphoid tissue. So this is very important. This classification is very important. This is often asked in your Viva examination. आपसे हमेशा Viva में classification of lymphoid structure पूछा जाता है before starting this session. जब आपका Viva होगा, what all the things which I'm Shani Mandal, ma'am, Ralt is there or not? This is malt and gall. Okay, mucosa associated and that of gut associated lymphoid tissue, lymphoid organ. I'm coming with more of this. Don't worry. I'm coming with further classification, Shani. Okay. So central is thymus, bone marrow. Peripheral is lymph node and spleen. So she has written something like Ralt, or I think some typing mistake must be there with Shani. Malt and galt. It is malt and galt. Mucosa and gut associated. Now, let's come with the further classification of lymphoid tissue. Diffuse. Now let's move on with the broad classification of lymphoid tissue. Okay, broadly, how we can classify the lymphoid tissue. So there is two system. Okay, one is the dense lymphoid tissue and other is diffuse. So one is diffused. One is diffuse lymphoid tissue. Okay, diffuse lymphoid tissue. Respiratory associated. Yes, there is. Obviously, respiratory may be lymphoid tissue to hoga hi. I am coming to that only. Okay, respiratory associated if you are talking. So respiratory, GI tract, sab jagah lymphoid. Jahan bhi hame defense chahiye. Many of the structures where lymphoid tissues are there. Okay, some of the structures होते हैं जब ब्रेन में होता है, आई बॉल में होता है, सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम के पार्ट में होता है, जहां पे लिम्फॉइड और लिम्फोसाइट्स नहीं होते. मोस्ट ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर्स लिम्फॉइड स्ट्रक्चर्स होते ही हैं. ओके, रेस्पिरेटरी एसोसिएटेड, रेस्पिरेटरी ट्रैक में तो होगा ही. व्हेन यू विल सी द स्लाइड देन देयर विल बी लिम्फॉइड. ओके, that is in the lamina propria. Sivang, that is in the lamina propria layer. Okay, lamina propria layer में respiratory में होता है. Okay, diffuse lymphoid tissue is consist of diffusely arranged lymphocytes. Okay, plasma cells is lying deep to epithelium in the lamina propria. So see here, your point is here. So I'm coming up with this point. Let the slide be completed. Don't be in hasty. Don't worry. So you can see here that lymphocytes are lying, as I told you, lamina propria. Lamina propria, which is consist of connective tissue, उसमें बहुत सारे लैमिना प्रोप्रिया में आपको लिम्फॉइड स्ट्रक्चर हो गए. अगर इम्यूनिटी लिम्फॉइड स्ट्रक्चर से है, देन इट इज थर्ड लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस. It is present in lamina propria of digestive, respiratory tract, urogenital tract, and forming an immunological barrier for various microorganisms. Got it? So that is diffuse. Okay. So generally what happens, like there is malt and galt. तो उसको एक टर्म दिया गया. Got my point? That शिवानी नो, इट्स श्यानी उसको एक टर्म दिया गया है, माल्ट और गाल्ट. रेस्पिरेटरी में किस टाइप का लिम्फॉइड टिश्यू है? डिफ्यूज. ओके, डिफ्यूज. जब हम डेंस लिम्फॉइड टिश्यू की बात करते हैं तो उसको एक टर्म देते हैं, डिस्क्रीट लिम्फॉइड ऑर्गन और माल्ट. ओके, go through this slide. I will explain it and your doubt will be clear. Okay, so one, lymphoid tissue तो सभी जगह होगा. It will be present everywhere, lymphoid tissue. When it is diffused का मतलब lying deep to in the lamina propria. This is found in GI tract. This type of lymphoid tissue is found in respiratory. This type of lymphoid tissue is found in urogenital tract. And what is the role? It is forming immunological barrier against invasion of microorganisms. It is forming immunological barrier against the invasion of microorganisms. When I am talking about dense, जब मैं dense की बात कर रही हूँ, means it is collected in a form. So lymphoid tissue has got a collection. What does that mean? That it is in the form of nodule. It is in the form of nodule. So lymphocyte is arranged in the form of nodule, then it is called as dense. Otherwise, it is called as diffuse. Okay. The nodule can be associated with mucous membrane of the viscera or as a discrete encapsulated organ. So it can be either formed as in the mucous membrane, okay, of the viscera or in the encapsulated structures. So malt, mucosa associated lymphoid tissue that is found in GI tract and all, and discrete lymphoid organs or discrete lymphoid organ. So I will explain you now where malt is formed. I will explain you the details of malt and discrete lymphoid organ because these are dense. These are collection of lymphatic tissue, so they are called as dense. See here. When I'm talking about malt, in certain places, lymphocyte aggregate to form a dense lymphatic nodule. In certain places, what happens? This lymphocyte is having coalesced together and they are in the aggregated form. Aggregated, right term will be aggregated, close together. Okay. It's in the form of dense, solitary nodule. Okay, pierced patches. Where is pierced patches found? Can anybody tell me, Shilpi, where is pierced patch formed? Shilpi, where is pierced patch formed? Anyone wants to tell the answer? Pierce patch is formed in the GI tract. It is found in small intestine. Which part of small intestine? Ileum. Ileum. Okay, intestine के कौन से part में? Ileum. So here they are aggregated. Here they are aggregated. Segregated, aggregated. That is, we are not here for grammar and English. Okay. Aggregation का मतलब क्या होता है? Close together. Same thing ही है. Aggregation का मतलब होता है they are in the form of nodular part. Okay. So they are in solitary nodules, in Pierce patches, lymphoid nodule in vermiform appendix. When you will come up with this slide, you can see that lymphocyte is arranged close to each other like this, a globular structures. So like this, they will form a globular structures. Okay, they will come close together in aggregated form. Waldeyer's ring at the entrance of pharynx. Okay. So actually head and neck session is not started, but there is a Waldeyer's ring, that is a ring of lymphatic tissues or collection of lymphocyte which is found at the entrance of pharynx. Okay, so Waldeyer's ring is formed by lymphatic collection in nasopharynx, lymphatic collection in the palate, in the tonsillar fossa. It is found on the back of the tongue. Okay. So that all lymphocyte is in the form of a ring. So they are called as Waldeyer's. They are called as Waldeyer's lymphoid ring. Got it? Malt. In certain places, lymphocyte aggregate to form conspicuous dense lymphatic nodule in the form of follicle in the lamina propria, or not only always in the lamina propria, it can present in the submucosa layer also. Lower, inside mucosa layer, next to mucosa layer lies the submucosa layer. Okay, कैसे GI tract में layers होते हैं? म्यूकोजा होता है, सब म्यूकोजा होता है, मस्कुलरिस लेयर होता है, आउटर सेरोसा लेयर होता है. Okay, outer serosa layer hota hai. So in the submucosa layer also and in the lamina propria layer also, there can be presence of aggregation of lymphoid tissue, and they are given a definite term like solitary nodule, Pierce patches, lymphatic nodule in vermiform appendix, Waldeyer's lymphoid ring. Waldeyer's lymphoid ring is a ring of lymphoid ring which is found at the entrance, of pharynx, and this is formed by aggregation of lymphatic tissue, like for example tonsil, the lymphatic aggregation of at the nasopharynx, the lymphatic aggregation at the posterior aspect of tongue. Now discrete lymphoid organ, हम कब बोलते हैं कि lymphatic और lymphocyte एक organ बन गया? When? So it is in the form of organ. For example, in the case of thymus, in the case of spleen. So lymphoid, discrete lymphoid organ is in the form of organ system, lymphoid organ. So this is the 4 slide. These are the 4 slide for your histology viva. Or for diagram making and your theory paper. So these 4, when I talk about lymphatic class, in terms of histology, you have to know the diagram of thymus, you have to know the diagram of spleen, you have to know the diagram of lymph node and palatine tonsil. And these 4 tissues, these 4 structures or organs, lymphoid organs, are very, very important for your examination point of view. So it is definitely asked in your identification point. जब भी आपका histology का exam होगा, one of the slide will be definitely from this group. एक स्लाइड डेफिनेटली इस ग्रुप से होगा. इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू शुड नो ऑल आइडेंटिफाइंग पॉइंट्स एंड हिस्टोलॉजिकल फीचर्स ऑफ दीज स्लाइड्स. थाइमस, spleen, lymph node and palatine tonsil. Okay, you can't leave this topic. It's very important. Everyone, are you understanding? Okay, good. Okay. So before starting a particular topic, I would like to give you a general architecture of the lymphoid organs. Lymphoid organ is consist of supporting network of connective tissue and parenchyma. So in general terms, all the lymphoid organ. I'm not talking about a particular thymus, spleen, lymph node. I'm talking about entire lymphoid organs. There is a common structure that it is consist of connective tissue framework and parenchyma. So in parenchyma कौन से structure रहता है? Parenchyma में lymphocyte रहता है और connective tissue framework में reticular fibers होता है. क्या होता है? Reticular fibers होता है. If you remember the class of connective tissue, I have told you 3 types of fibers होते हैं. कौन कौन से फाइबर्स होते हैं? Anyone? 3 types of fibers: collagen fibers, elastic fibers, reticular fibers. So in lymphoid organ, there will be reticular fibers. Yes, absolutely right, Shivank. Absolutely right, Shilpi. Absolutely right. Now, reticular fibers are present in all lymphoid organ, but there is also an exception, which I will explain when I will take the slide of thymus. In thymus, there is no reticular fibers. Actually, thymus में रेटिकुलर फाइबर्स नहीं होता है, इपिथेलियो रेटिकुलर सेल्स होता है, दैट बिहेव एज ए कनेक्टिव टिश्यू फ्रेमवर्क. तो उसमें भी anatomy is a subject of variation. Okay, so 90% time everything is same, but 10% of time there is slight deviation. So when we take an example of thymus lymphoid organ, it is not containing reticular fibers, but it is containing epithelio-reticular cells. And this was the MCQ which has been asked in the NEET PG entrance examination. So mere students, aapko you have to study like this, that you can target your first year MBBS, that is full and sure, by your theory paper, cracking your theory paper and viva. But you have to keep in mind also to crack the next examination. So all the MCQs point you have to keep in mind. Okay, so now coming to the next point, supporting framework. When we talk about supporting framework, the supporting framework includes the capsule, fibrous capsule, which forms an outer covering for the lymphoid structure, cover the organs at the periphery, and also forms trabecules, interlobular septas, which enter into the organ carrying blood vessel, nerves, reticulum, and support the cellular parenchyma. Actually, the parenchyma part of the lymphoid organ is containing lymphocytes. The parenchyma part is containing lymphocytes, and it is having a covering, supportive network, which is in the form of trabecules, fibrous capsules, connective tissue framework, which is containing reticular fibers, which is providing support to the lymphoid structure. Everyone got this point? Two important structure in all lymphoid organs. Okay? Those who want to write, they can write. This session is for the first year MBBS, and it's my target that the students should be benefited from this class. So nothing to worry. If you want, you can tell me, ma'am, please wait. We are writing the points. So I will wait for you, because I have categorized this session specially for first year MBBS students. So I am slightly slow for this session. When I go for NEET PG next and for FMG INICT examination competitive, तो हम fastly lete hain. Why? Because it's a revision kind of thing. For you, I will go slightly slow. So nothing to worry. You can note down all these points. You will get the PDF also. You can download the PDF. But it is important that actually so many sessions are there. PDFs get mixed out and all. So you should be directly taking the notes in the class itself, in the session itself. And many important diagrams, you can just have the notes and you can write the notes along with me. Or so lymph node. The next point is lymph node. Lymph node are kidney. You just go along with me, and when I finishes the session, you can have the revision point also. So any of the thing you want to see once more, you can fast forward it. Okay, everyone, that is a good point, that recorded version will be also available for you. But the thing is that you should be present live for the session, because kabhi bhi recorded version hat bhi sakta hai. It's not कि always it will be present on the platform. Got my point? Always present nahi rahega. So you should be present in live session. But after the session, you can, if you have missed out something, you can fast forward, revise the things from the sessions. Okay, you can see the video recorded sessions, and you can see the what you have left out. But I will suggest all should note down live only. That is important. Lymph nodes. Now let's come on to the slide of lymph node and spleen. So lymph node are kidney shaped, oval shaped structure. The approximate size is 0.1 to 2.5 centimeters length. Now on the outer aspect, the lymph node is having a protective covering. That covering is called as fibrous capsule. That covering is called as fibrous capsule. The fibrous capsule will extend. Now, एक lymph node structure है, bean shaped structure, small structure. It actually lymph node, many lymph node we have got in inguinal region and axillary. So students must have gone through the dissection of axillary region. They must have seen जब हमने axillary region का dissection किया था तो उसमें बहुत सारा fat था. We have to remove the fat. Along with it, we have also removed the lymph node. In the axillary region, there is axillary group of lymph nodes, that is central, apical, supraclavicular is above the clavicle, but below the clavicle we have got apical, anterior, posterior, central, lateral group of axillary lymph node. So lymph node is having an outer covering which is called as fibrous capsule. Inside, from the fibrous capsule, septa goes inside the lymph node and that is called as trabeculae. उसको क्या बोलते हैं? Trabeculae बोलते हैं. The substance of lymph node is divided into outer cortex, and the whole lymph node is divided into outer cortex and that of inner medulla. The whole substance of lymph node is divided into outer cortex and inner medulla. Lymph node is rich in the cells. So many lymphocytes and cells are lying there. Now, one of the indented part or medial aspect of lymph node part, which is concave, is called as the hilum. Now, what is the hilum? Is an indented concave aspect of the lymph node. वहां पे lymphatic vessels leave कर रहा है और blood vessel enters and leave कर रहा है. Means lymphatics and blood vessels are entering and living at the area, at the indented hilum area of the lymph node. I will show you the diagram also, don't worry. Okay, so thereafter, now coming to the lymph node, diagram. So when you see the lymph node diagram, so what you can just see here in the lymph node diagram. Okay, so there is afferent lymphatic vessels, as you can see here. There is afferent lymphatic vessels. Okay, all these are afferent lymphatic vessels. This is the outer fibrous capsule. This is what this black color line is, outer fibrous capsule. I will show you the histological slide also. This is firstly to make you understand. Okay, so actually why reticular fibers are black? So generally, when you see the slide in the histological H&E stain slide, you are not able to recognize reticular fibers because reticular fibers are not taking stain. Reticular fibers stain nahi leta hai. It can't be stained with H&E stain. It can be stained with silver stain. It can be stained with silver stain. Absolutely right, Sivank. Absolutely right. All previous sessions, Sivank is answering very well. He is very regular in the session and very good. He is always answering. So great. So this silver stain is there for, so this slide mein hum ek silver stain, it's shown in black color because silver staining mein reticular fibers are black. So here you can see afferent lymphatic vessels are entering, efferent lymphatic vessels has been shown to the hilum area, blood vessels are entering into the hilum area. This is whole outer aspect is fibrous capsule, and from the fibrous capsule, trabeculae. Okay, from the fibrous capsule you can see here, these are trabeculae which is going inside and dividing. The outer part of lymphatic region is called as lymph node is cortex. The inner part is medulla. The inner part is called as medulla. And this black color lines which you are seeing here, these are all reticular fibers. These are acting as a supporting network for lymph node. Supporting network for lymph node. Now coming to the more of details of location. हमारे पास lymph node कहाँ located है? तो lymph node is present throughout the body. More of the lymph node. So actually lymph node, for example, one of the lymphatic node detail we have studied in gross anatomy is the axillary group of lymph node. Okay, the axillary region has got so many lymph node. Same way inguinal region also, approximately there is approximately 450 lymph nodes in the adult. Some lymph nodes are enlarged in certain conditions, for example in the cancers and all nodes. So axillary lymph node is in the arms, cervical lymph nodes are in the head and neck region, inguinal lymph nodes are in the groin creases. So important lymph nodes are located where? It is located in the axillary region, it is located in the head and neck region, it is located in the groin region. Most lymph nodes lies within the trunk adjacent to the other major structures, and they are called as para-aortic or tracheobronchial lymph nodes. So what I have written here is just a layout that where lymph nodes are located in our body. This is just a layout of where lymph node is located in our body. Okay? All of you must be knowing this. So see here, green color structures which is shown here is the lymphatic nodules, and we can see here we have got in cervical lymph nodes, we have got lymphatics in the mammary, we have got thoracic duct, we have got axillary group of lymph node, we have got lymph nodes in the upper limb, we have got inguinal group of lymph nodes. So these are the areas in our body where lymphatic nodules are lying. Now, let's move on to the histology. So firstly, I will describe and then I will show you the histological slide for the better understanding. So structure of lymph node, as I told you, it is consists of parenchyma and connective tissue framework. So the connective tissue framework is consist of capsule, trabecular and the reticular stroma. Okay, connective tissue framework. So here this bean shaped structure, this is just a schematic diagram which is showing you lymph node. Here you can see this outer part will be, this is the capsule, this is outer part is the cortex, and just inside the cortex we have got paracortical area, and this is the medulla. Okay, this is the medulla area. The parenchyma, when I am talking about parenchyma, so there is two important structures lying in the lymph node. One is the connective tissue framework, which is formed by capsule, trabeculae and reticular stroma. When I am talking about parenchyma, it is formed by cortex, paracortex and medulla. So outermost part of lymph node is called as cortex. Inside cortex is paracortex area, and inside paracortex area, this is the medulla. Now let's further describe the capsule and trabeculae. Now connective tissue framework is termed as capsule, and as I told you, from the fibrous capsule inside trabeculae goes inside the lymphoid structures. So capsule रहता है, उसके अंदर what arises from the fibrous capsule, trabeculae. Now this is a very important point for your viva examination, that in case of lymph node, beneath the capsule there is a space. Okay, this is one of the point of identification of the slide of lymph node. Okay, for example, when your examination will be taken, जब आपका एग्जाम होगा तो वहां पे आपको आइडेंटिफाई करना है हिस्टोलॉजिकल स्लाइड, एंड यू हैव टू राइट 2 or 3 आइडेंटिफाइंग फीचर्स ऑफ दैट स्लाइड. Okay, generally we ask 2. So one of the point for the identification of lymph node is that beneath the fibrous capsule there is subcapsular sinus. A space is lying there that is called as subcapsular sinus, and this subcapsular sinus is traversed by reticular fibers and cells. What lies in the subcapsular sinus? Reticular fibers and cells. The subcapsular sinus is receiving afferent lymphatic vessels, and it is continuous with the sinuses, trabecular sinuses. Okay, when the trabecular sinus is seen more inside, if you go more deeper into the lymph node, the next structure which you will visualize is the medullary sinuses. So trabecular sinus will have continuity with the medulla, and that is continuity is with the medullary sinuses. Got it? That continuity will be with the medullary sinuses. Got it? Now, same thing. This is the fibrous capsule. This is the cortical area. This will be here. You can see just adjacent to fibrous capsule, this space. I'm just talking about this space. This space. Can you see here this space? So let me use a highlighter. So I will highlight with blue color. This outer space is the subcapsular sinus. Just a minute. Okay. So beneath the capsule, this space which I'm highlighting with blue color, my dear students, my dear friends, that is subcapsular sinus. Now, adjacent to subscapular, as we move more deeper, then this area will be the paracortical region, and more deeper is the medulla. So reticular formation. We know that reticular formation is formed by reticular fibers, and also it is having phagocytic meshwork of the structures line, phagocytic reticular cells, and this is for the this is providing a structural framework to the structure. What is the role? The most important role of reticular fibers and reticular formation is it is providing structural support to lymphoid cells. It is providing structural support to lymphoid cells. Now, cortex. Now, firstly, so we have done with fibrous capsule and trabeculase and reticular fibers. Now, I want to, so that means we have finished with the supporting network. The next important structure in the lymph node is parenchyma. Parenchyma is divided into three zones: cortex, paracortex, and medulla. So let's see what lies in these three zones. Okay, let's see further definition of structures lying in these three zones. So first is the cortex. Cortex lies deep to peripheral part of the lymph node, and it contains subcapsular sinus beneath the capsule, the lymphatic nodules. Okay, one of the important constituent of this structure is it is containing lymphatic nodule. Now, my dear friends, when you will visualize the lymphatic nodule, when you see the interior of lymphatic nodule, it is lighter stain. जब भी आपने slide देखा होगा, okay, I have also included slide. Don't worry, I will show you. So inside the slide, when you see, it is lighter zone. Inside जब slide हम देखते हैं तो वो lighter zone का होता है. Why? Because they are containing immature lymphocyte. बाहर के जोन में जो लिम्फोसाइट होता है वो डेंसर होता है, वो मैच्योर होता है, मोर इन नंबर होता है, तो ज्यादा एग्रीगेशन होता है. सो देयर इज मोर ऑफ एग्रीगेशन देयर. बट इन द इनसाइड पार्ट, when we go inside in a lymphatic nodule, in the center there is lighter zone that is called a germinal center. Lymphatic nodule without a pale staining germinal center is called as primary nodule, but a lymphatic nodule with a germinal center is called as secondary lymphatic nodule. So my dear friends, this is very important for Viva. Everyone, please note down this point. What is the difference between secondary nodule and that of primary nodule? So primary nodule is without a germinal center, and the lymphatic nodule which is containing a lighter stain germinal center is secondary nodule. Everyone got the difference between primary and secondary nodule? This has been asked as a Viva question. What is the difference between primary nodule and that of secondary nodule? So a lymphatic nodule which is not having a germinal center is primary, and a lymphatic nodule containing a germinal center in the center is secondary. Thank you, Shani Mandal. So now I want to show you, this is a high power, so this outermost covering is of fibrous capsule. This is the cortex region, and this one structure which you are seeing is lymphatic nodule. In the center, it is slightly light stain. It is slightly light stain. Here also you can see this is one lymphatic nodule. In the center, it is light stain. Okay, and these are medullary parts. More of the slide. So this will be more clear. This is again another diagram of histological stain. So see here, my dear friends, is it clear? So please pay attention to this. Lymph node is very important, definitely coming for your theory paper and Viva. Okay, so I will take another 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Okay, more. So I will also cover up the spleen, and then only I can end the session. So we will complete that. So this is the outermost capsule. This is the outermost capsule. Beneath the capsule, there is subcapsular sinus. This gap is subscapular sinus. This is a lymphatic zone. If you will see, this is germinal center. So this is lighter stain. This structure is, this is slightly lighter stain. This is slightly lighter stain. This is the mantle zone, and this is the aggregated part lymphatic nodule. So this is one lymphatic nodule collection. This is lymphatic aggregation here. In the center, it is lighter zone. Now coming to paracortex area. This one. Okay, Shani. Done. This one and this one. Okay. Now coming to the parenchyma area, paracortical area. So we have done with the cortical area, which is containing lymphatic nodule. A lymphatic nodule is of both types, primary and secondary. Now coming to the paracortex area. Paracortex area mein what lies? So it is the inner cortical zone. So in one word, we can say the part of the lymphatic nodule which is lying inside the cortical region is paracortical region. And why it is called as paracortical region? Because paracortical region in case of lymph node, again an important question for Viva. All of you note down this point. It is a very important question for your Viva, that it is consist of T lymphocyte, and this T lymphocyte is thymus dependent zone. Got it? It is consist of T lymphocyte. So the Viva question is, paracortical area in the lymph node is containing B lymphocytes or T lymphocyte. If it comes for MCQ also, the answer is it is containing T lymphocyte. And my dear friends, T lymphocyte is present only in thymus. So this area of the lymph node is called as thymus dependent zone. This lymphocyte area is called as thymus dependent zone. Normally, no nodules are seen in paracortical area, but sometimes discrete nodule can be seen. Okay, so there can be slight overlap of cortical and paracortical area. So in general term, there is just T lymphocyte, but at times there can be overlap of paracortical and cortical areas, and few of the discrete lymphocytes can be seen there. Dense lymphatic tissue in the paracortical area become continuous with medullary cords. If we go more deeper, we will see which area? We will see the medulla area of the lymph node. We will see the medullary area of the lymph node. Now moving with the next. So see here, this is schematic diagram. Outermost subscapular area, capsule, the germinal centers. Okay, this is just to make you understand. This is not a histological slide. This is a primary follicle. Why primary follicle, my dear friend? Why? No GC, no germinal center. This is secondary follicle. Why secondary follicle, my dear friends? It is having GC. Okay, this is the hilum area. This is the medullary cord area. Okay, this area which you are seeing, this area adjacent to cortical area, this is paracortical area, which is consist of only T lymphocytes. T lymphocyte. Now what is left now? The medulla. Now I have to explain you the medullary region of the lymph node. Got it? Now let's move on to the next parenchyma or area, which is medulla. So medulla is having two parts. One is medullary cords and other is medullary sinuses. Actually, in the medulla area, we have also got macrophages that has got phagocytic nature and that of the plasma cells. So medullary cords are branching anastomotic cord of typical lymphoid tissue, and basically it is contained. So when we talk about the medullary part, it is consist of mainly B lymphocytes and few plasma cells and macrophages. Okay, few plasma cells and macrophages. Medullary sinus are typical lymphoid tissue disposed between medullary cords, and it is, if you will see the staining, when you compare the cortical staining with that of medulla, the medullary lymph node area is lighter stain in comparison to cortical area. Medullary sinuses will ultimately drain into efferent lymphatic vessels, which is found in the hilum. So medullary sinuses will continue into the efferent lymphatic vessels, which is lying in the hilum. So one point you can just remember. Okay, Shiny Madam, ma'am, what is anastomotic cord? Okay, anastomotic cord means you will see in the medulla area, there is a network of lymphatic tissue, B lymphocyte, macrophages, and this will form a anastomosis. They will form a grip, and so I would like to show you. Can you see here, my dear friends? Here, this part is the medulla part. This is the medulla part. So you can see the structures which is lying in the medulla is in the form of glomeruli kind of, and or making a group. Okay, they are anastomosing, they are continuing with each other. These are the structures, so they are continuing with each other, they are forming a network, and ultimately this will get continued with the efferent lymphatics. Can you see here? These are consist of plasma cell, macrophages and lymphocytes, and they are continuing with the hilum area, forming a network, so they are called as cords. Okay, they are in the form of network. Very good, Shani. Yes, a proper term is network. Very good. So this is the slide. Again, this part is the, got it? Very good. So this part is fibrous capsule. No doubt, this is the connective tissue fibrous capsule. What is this? These are trabeculae. These are trabeculae. Anastomosis, same as upper and lower limb. Anastomosis are between arteries. Okay, Silpi. Anastomosis is there in the arteries. Anastomosis हमारे पास veins में होता है. Lymphatics भी अपने में anastomose करता है, network form करता है. Okay, so there is various kind of anastomosis at different level. Okay, arteries में भी होता है, veins भी आपस में एक group बनाते हैं, एक bundle बनाते हैं, और same way lymphatic channels भी अपने आप में एक network बनाता है. Okay, Shilpi. Now, this is the fibrous capsule. This is the trabeculas which is going inside. These are the trabeculas which is going inside. Now, what is this? This is a lymphatic aggregation or the lymphatic nodule. What is this? If you will see, can you see this is darker area? This is dark area in the periphery because it is consist of mature lymphocyte and more number of lymphocyte which is lying very close to each other. When you see inside area, this is GC, this is the immature lymphocytes, okay, and these are anastomotic cords of medullary sinuses, means blood vessels bhi hoga wahan pe, sinuses means discontinuous, kuch blood vessels bhi honge that will form anastomotic network along with the lymphatics. This is high power view of histological slide of lymph node. See here, this is the slide. जब आप माइक्रोस्कोप के अंदर देखेंगे, whenever what happens, everyone understand when it comes at the examination point of view, सब गॉन हो जाता है. ओके, जब मैं एग्जामिनेशन लेती हूँ हिस्टोलॉजी का स्टूडेंट्स का, तो दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग, दे आर नॉट एबल टू आइडेंटिफाई द स्लाइड. व्हाई? बिकॉज फर्स्टली यू हैव टू have a proper knowledge of theory, so they think that histology and embryology में less number of questions आते हैं, but it is very marks fetching, so you should not skip out histology and embryology because ज्यादा number आ सकता है अगर आप इस पे थोड़ा सा ध्यान दें. If you pay slight attention to the topics of histology and embryology, you can secure more marks. Okay, so you have, this will come only from practice and practice. Okay, you have to keep on revising, practicing. That is the key to success. Everyone, it's not a thing of 1 or 2 days. You have to revise, you have to discuss with your friends. Mini life, respected doctor Vishnu Sharma, thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you so much, dear. Thank you so much for your kind words. Vishnu Sharma is giving blessings to all doctors. Thank you, dear. And I also give you blessing that you should crack your examination in the first attempt and you should come out with your flying colors, and you also serve the country and serve the patients. Okay, so this is the slide of lymph node. This is outermost fibrous capsule. These are the lymph. This is this space, a very small space which is lying here. This space is subcapsular sinus, and this is lymphatic nodule. And what is this? These are trabeculae. These are trabeculae. Now, this is again other. So, my dear friends, this slides which you are seeing is the actual histological slide which has been labeled after taking the diagram. So these slides which I am showing you is the actual histological slide which is seen when you see it under the microscope. So my dear friends, this is the outermost capsule. This is the outermost capsule. Okay, this is the outermost capsule. That is the fibrous capsule. This is the fibrous capsule. This is whole fibrous capsule. Okay. This is all trabeculas which is going inside. This is the lymphatic nodules. This is lighter stained GC, germinal center. These are medullary cords, and this is anastomoting with each other, forming medullary cords. This is another slide. So see here, this lighter stained germinal center. This is lymphatic nodule. This is trabeculae. This is fibrous capsule. This is subcapsular sinus. This space which you are seeing is subcapsular sinus. This space slide is subcapsular sinus. So please note down, this is how the flow of lymphatics occurs. So this is how, if this comes for your theory paper, you just make this note. So you can just note down in 1 minute. Quickly write this: direction of flow of lymph in the lymph node. Afferent lymphatic vessels, wahan se kahan lymphatics aayega? Subcapsular sinus mein aayega, lying below the fibrous capsule. Then it will reside in the trabeculae, go to the medullary sinus. Efferent lymphatic vessels will anastomose with other lymphatic vessels, ultimately goes to thoracic duct, ultimately will drain into left subclavian vein and will reach the general circulation to the lymph node. So this is how the direction of lymph happens in the lymphatic circuit. So please note down, and all the students, I want to tell actually what happened previous year. Also I have taken few sessions for first year MBBS. जब उनका exam था last year, so when their exam was there, their pre-boards and all, just before the exam, 1 month or 2 months before, all the students become very sincere कि अभी तो exam crack करना ही है, अभी pass करना है first year MBBS, otherwise we will fail it. But when there is 6 months of time, 7 months, सो आप स्टूडेंट्स सीरियस नहीं होते स्टडी को लेके. सो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, ऑलरेडी दिस बैच इज लेट बिकॉज ऑफ द कोविड सिचुएशन. ऑलरेडी यू आर नॉट एबल टू अटेंड मेनी ऑफ द face to face interaction in your colleges. So I would like that Shivang, please wait. Yes, I am waiting, Shivang. You can note down. I am waiting. I'm not changing the slide. So I would like that everyone should present live, and this session is specially designed for you, and start studying from here itself. Don't wait for the day when it will come. Okay. So Chirag Mittal, welcome to the session. So don't wait for the D-Day to come. Last में पढ़ाई करेंगे. It never comes. That day doesn't come. Be sincere from the very beginning. Be sincere to your studies from the very beginning. Okay, that is the key to success. Okay, because time is less and the course is very vast, very vast. So okay, let me change the slide now. Okay, Sivang, can I change the slide? Okay. Now function, if I talk about the function of lymph node, it filters the microorganisms from the lymph, thereby localizing and preventing the spread of infection. So what you can say, it is involved in defense mechanism. It is involved in defense mechanism. It produces lymphocyte and also forms antibodies. It also forms antibodies. Protection. It gives immunity and protection to our body. Bismillah. Welcome to the session. Bismillah. So we have finished. Can we start the spleen? Okay. So let's take another 15-20 minutes spleen. Jitna khatam ho jaye, hum khatam kar denge. And don't worry, I will end the session, and the very next day I will start the session from there itself. But I think slight we should study spleen also. Everyone, is it okay? Another 15-20 minutes, 15-20 minutes for spleen. Everyone? Okay. So yeah, Shiny Mandal is telling yes. One more student, Roshan, I'm telling yes. Okay. And others are? Okay. Aftab is telling yes. Harish, yes. Bismillah, yes. Okay. So yes. Okay. Few students are attentive, so I will take the session. Okay. Always the session will be of 1 hour 10 minutes like this, 1 hour 10-15, because generally I have to give 5 minutes for the introduction of platform also. So I take another 5-10 minutes, 10-15 minutes extra. Sometimes I take. So spleen is lying underneath the part of diaphragm. So abdomen session has not been started. In abdomen, we will study the gross anatomy. Today in this session, I will pay attention on the histology of the spleen. What is the location? It is located along 9th, 10th and 11th rib, and it is located just below the diaphragm. Spleen is the largest lymphoid organ. Spleen is the largest lymphoid organ. This structure which is highlighted, this is the spleen. This is the largest lymphoid organ. Basic structure, it is lying in the left hypochondriac region, left-hand side of the body, and a part of it goes towards the epigastric region. It's a blood-forming organ in the fetal structure, and in postnatal life means after birth, it is acting as a graveyard of RBCs. It acts as a graveyard of RBCs. It filters the blood and blood-borne pathogens or microorganisms and antigens. So it is taking the role of filtering the blood. Iska kya kaam hai? It filters the blood. It is causing ultrafiltration or filtration of the blood. The spleen is covered by a protective covering that is called as peritoneum. Now, I will just switch with the histology part. So let's start with the histological aspect of the spleen. Again, now spleen ka histology will be easy for you to understand because few points will be similar as the lymphatic structure. So इसमें भी connective tissue framework होगा और इसमें भी parenchyma होगा. लेकिन जब हम spleen की बात करेंगे तो इसके parenchyma में white pulp होगा और red pulp होगा. Why it is called as white pulp and red pulp? जब हम fresh spleen लेते हैं, when we take the fresh spleen of a rabbit or a human body cadaver, and when freshly we take, when the death is not occurred many time back, fresh cutting of spleen is done. So the spleen ka area white or red appear hota hai when freshly cut. So reddest area is red pulp and the whitest faint area is white pulp. So in case of white pulp area, we have got lymphoid tissues, and red pulp में atypical lymphoid tissue होता है because it contains blood vessels. Actually, it is containing capillaries. Which type of capillaries? Can anybody tell me? Can anybody tell me which type of capillaries lies in the spleen? I have told you in the example of absolutely right, Sivank. Sivank is absolutely right. It is fenestrated. Particular term is sinusoids. What is the particular term? Sinusoids. So the blood capillaries which is lying here is having discontinuity in the basement membrane, and the capillary is also having discontinuity in the epithelium lining, and this discontinuous type of blood vessel capillary is called as sinusoid. So particular term which is used in context of parenchyma of the spleen is splenic sinusoid. What is it called as? It is called as splenic sinusoids. Dr. Paras, welcome to the session. Connective tissue framework is consist of capsule, trabeculae, and reticular stroma and fibers. Parenchyma is consist of white pulp, which is consist of lymphoid tissue, red pulp, which is consist of sinusoids and macrophages, plasma cell macrophages. So coming to the details, I have written all these things. Capsule. So outermost covering of the spleen is again fibrous capsule. It's a capsule made of connective tissue. Deep to, so this capsule is lying deep to which of the covering? Peritoneum. What is the lining epithelium of peritoneum? Squamous epithelium. Simple columnar, simple squamous epithelium. Lining epithelium of peritoneum is simple squamous epithelium. It is capsule is formed by dense connective tissue and few smooth muscle fibers. It is formed by dense connective tissue and few smooth muscle fibers. Got it? Okay, so this is the white pulp area and this is the red pulp area. This is red and this is white. White area is consisting of lymphocytes. Now, trabeculae are given from the capsule into the interior of the spleen. They are thick and robust and they carry trabecular vessels which so inside the, when we will see the outer covering or capsule from its, the trabeculae goes inside, and this trabeculae are the area where splenic vessels traverses. क्या रन करता है ट्रैबिकुलेज में? स्प्लीनिक वेसल्स. ट्रैबिकुलेज आर ऑलरेडी नोन टू यू ऑलरेडी नो फ्रॉम fibrous capsules. Septas are given inside, that is called as trabeculase. Okay, now see, this is the slide which I want to show to you. Okay, it can be. Okay, so this is white pulp. Okay, these are white pulp. These are white pulp. Okay, my dear friends, this is fibrous capsule. These areas are white pulp. Okay, so what I want to tell, the slide of spleen. No, trabeculase actually, Shivang, this is fibrous capsule. See here, don't get confused with that. This outer covering is fibrous capsule. Got it? From fibrous capsules, certain part of it goes inside and which will divide the spleen into lobules. Space में divide करेगा. So that is called as trabeculase. And through this trabeculase, blood vessels will enter. So extension, yes, Silpi has given a better word, extension. Very good. Simple word में हम extensions बोल सकते हैं. Extensions from the fibrous capsule going inside, and through it the blood vessels traverses inside. So this is this is lymphatic nodule. This is another lymphatic nodules. Okay, one more thing is important. When you will see the white pulp of the spleen, जब आप white pulp of the spleen देखते हैं तो उसमें एक artery होता है. Can you see this red color structures which I am highlighting? This one. What is this called as? This is central artery. Now, why your doubt must be there, ma'am, उसको central artery क्यों बोलते हैं? उसका location तो eccentric है. Okay, you can ask me this doubt कि ma'am उसको central artery क्यों बोलते हैं? उसका location तो eccentric है. The reason is that जब अंदर में, yes Sivank, yes, I will explain you. जब artery अंदर में traverse होता है spleen में, तो that artery is surrounded by aggregation of lymphocyte. So generally जब ये एक आर्टरी है जो कि ब्रांच करता है ट्रैबिकुलेस से, ये सेंट्रल आर्टरी है, उसके चारों तरफ लिम्फैटिक नोड्यूल्स एग्रीगेट हो जाता है, चारों तरफ लिम्फैटिक नोड्यूल्स एग्रीगेट होता है. सो उसके कारण ये जो सेंट्रल आर्टरी का लोकेशन है, सेंटर से कहाँ हो जाता है? पेरीफेरी में हो जाता है. तो हम इसका नाम नहीं चेंज करते, ये सेंट्रल आर्टरी है लेकिन लोकेशन वाइज ईसेंट्रिक है. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय द वर्ड ईसेंट्रिक? Periphery. This is a key point for the identification of histological slide of spleen. The location of central artery is eccentric in white pulp. Is it okay, Sivank? Everyone, have you understood the reason why central artery is eccentric in location? Everyone, why central artery is eccentric? Got it? Yes, because it is pushed towards the periphery by the aggregation of lymphocytes. And in between these red color structures are red pulp, which is containing fenestrated capillaries, that is called as splenic sinusoids, macrophages, and plasma cells. Now see here, trabecules are given as an extension from fibrous capsule. They are thick, robust, and they carry trabecular vessels inside. This is a lymphatic nodule. Here you can see the central artery is lying eccentric. Trabecules are just extensions from the fibrous capsule. Now see here, actually this is the black fibers, generally reticular fibers. As I told you, the spleen is having a connective tissue framework. Spleen is having a connective tissue framework which is formed from reticular fibers. So reticular fibers are associated with reticular cells, and these black color lines, can you see here these black color lines? These black color lines, which so it can't be seen from that of silver stain has to be used. This can't be seen when we are seeing HNE stain. So special stain slide hai ye. You can see the black lines which has been shown, which I have highlighted by blue lines. These are all RF, reticular fibers. These are reticular fibers. Now, parenchyma, when you will see the parenchyma, it is white or gray and has got red matrix, means it is having white pulp. So the whitest structure is called as white pulp, consists of lymphocytes. Red pulp consists of capillaries. Which capillaries? Fenestrated, that is sinusoids, along with macrophages, along with plasma cells, Microscopically, the spleen white pulp is consists of lymphocytes around a small artery, and this artery is a branch of trabecular artery. Now, one more thing is important. This is asked in Viva. What is PALS? Periarterial lymphatic sheath. Now, central artery is surrounded by lymphatic nodules, lymphatic aggregations. Okay, central artery. So that lymphatic aggregation which is surrounding the central artery is given a name PALS. PALS. Very important for Viva. What is PALS? Periarterial lymphatic sheath. Periarterial. What do you mean by the word periarterial? Means around the artery. Which artery, my dear friend? Central artery. So lymphatic collection around the central artery, which is mainly consists of T lymphocyte, is called as periarterial lymphatic sheath. So 2 MCQs can be solved. One is the central artery is surrounded by which kind of lymphocyte? Answer is T lymphocyte. What is it called as? It is called as PALS. What is the full form of PALS? PALS is lying in the white pulp, and the full form of PALS is periarterial lymphatic sheath. Periarterial lymphatic sheath. Got it? See here, this is the slide. Here, what is this, my dear friend? What is this? These are PALS. Okay, just so this area, and what is this? This area this is central artery. This is central artery. This is red pulp. This is red pulp area. This is white pulp area. And in white pulp, the area that is surrounded by the T lymphocytes and surrounding the central artery area, this is all called as PALS. Got it, everyone? Have you understood? And are you understanding, everyone? Give me a thumbs up if you are understanding. Got it? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So again, this is another slide where you are seeing very nicely. Let me use white. This is white pulp. This is white pulp. This is white pulp. And what is this? This is central artery. This is central artery. I will use red color for it. This is central artery. Okay. This is outer fibrous capsule. And in between white pulp, there is area of red pulp. White pulp is having central artery in which position? Eccentric position. It is also having marginal zones. Okay. means the outer part of the white pulp. The central artery is surrounded by lymphatic sheath, which we have seen, and inside and the central artery thereafter enters white pulp and then red pulp, and this central artery will again divide into further smaller arterioles, that is called as peninsular arteriole. Central artery will divide another arteriole, smaller arteriole, that is called as peninsular arteriole. Okay, trabecular artery will traverse through the trabecula. Trabecular artery will change its name to central artery. Central artery will change its name to peninsular arteriole. Okay, trabecular artery will change its name to central artery. Central artery will further divide in the red pulp and will form peninsular arteriole. See here, again, this is the area of white pulp. This is again white pulp. This is pars, and this is what this structure which has been shown is the central artery. This is central artery. This is white pulp. These are all white pulp, lymphatic, peripheral lymphatic set, central artery. Many slides I have included, don't worry. So white pulp, central artery in the nodule in the eccentric position, central artery arterioles divide and then enter as becoming peninsular artery. So see this diagram, all of you. This is the trabecular artery, this is central artery. When it enters inside, it will form periarterial lymphatic sheath is surrounded and it will change its name to peninsular arterioles. Means division होते जाता है, okay, smaller division होते जाता है. Trabecular artery से central artery से peninsular artery. Got it? See, can you see this artery is further dividing. This artery is further dividing at a smaller arteries, that is peninsular arterioles. They are dividing into smaller arteries, that is peninsular arterioles. So once more I will explain. So I think till white pulp I will be able to finish. Red pulp हम कल करेंगे. Before that, once more I want to tell, actually subdivision होता है. Trabecular arteries, will enter through trabecular. Then in the white pulp it forms central arteries. From central arteries it will divide into peninsular arteries. So actually I want to have the session 10 minutes more I want for spleen. So leave it, don't worry, because I have to start another session also. I will give you brief introduction for the upcoming session. Tomorrow I will meet with you. So few more points are there. I will cover up tomorrow. Before ending the session, again, I want to tell you that you can use my code ANAD10 for unlocking free sessions on the Unacademy platform. And those who want to be the part of my sessions, they can use the code unlock code ANAD10. So tomorrow also, so just now, all of you, those who are preparing for competitive exam, they can join me 7:30 p.m. YouTube channel for the Let's Crack NEET PG session 2021. Let's Crack FMG session 9 p.m. session. Conceptual Anatomy is the 6 p.m. session. All the first year students do join me for the 6 p.m. session. This will be extremely beneficial for you, and do come live. So only I will be able to continue this session because this is specially for you. This is the ANAD10 code, and today is the 6th session of Let's Crack NEET PG session. 7:30 p.m. is the timing, and 9 p.m. is the timing for the FMG session. So today there will be altogether 21 sessions are there for FMG sessions. So again 9 p.m. this was conceptual class, but at 9 p.m. timing I will start with the FMG session, Let's Crack FMG 2021 session. Now tomorrow's session, conceptual anatomy, actually tomorrow also all of you can note down. Yes, Shiny Mandal, thank you so much, Shiny. Tomorrow's session, for tomorrow's session, I have not been able to complete. So tomorrow I will show you spleen. I will explain red pulp. I will explain more about spleen, few more points, and I will explain the slide of thymus. I will explain tonsil. Okay, so I think I will take another one session for lymphatic sessions, and then we can start with the lower limb. Okay, got it? Yes, Sivan, thank you so much. So tomorrow also 6 p.m. session is there. All of you do join for the session. For the first year students, especially join for this session. Tomorrow timing will be again 6 p.m. I will continue with the lymphatic histology only, and then we will start with the lower limb session. So to lower limb session, I can give you introduction of few parts of the lower limb. We can start, because altogether for this month total 17 sessions are there. So tomorrow's session is exactly, I think, 7th session is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 7th session. So total 17 sessions has been targeted for you. All the best. Keep studying. Thank you so much. We will meet tomorrow. Yes, Hirishi, any doubt? Anyone has got difficulty in joining the session? Any doubt? So they can just ask me. And for the update of my session, so what you can do, you can follow me on the Unacademy app. You can start following me. There is an option follow the educator. So you can start following me so that you can get updates of my classes. Okay. So you can be, all first year students can be the part of my conceptual anatomy session, that is especially for targeting the next and first year MBBS students. I have got another sessions also, plus platform. So that is paid one. So that you have to take the subscription again, and AT10 is the code for the 10% discount. And another session, competitive exam free sessions updates you will get. So that is, and my own group anatomy, my group is Telegram, that is Mona Lisa Anatomy. On also on the Unacademy Telegram group, updates and links of my session will be shared. Thank you. Thanks everyone. So I'm just ending the session now. Thank you.